Hi, my fellow event planners. How are you today? Happy Friday. This has been the longest week ever. How's your week going? It's been like good stuff, but then just so long. So many events to go to plan, all the things. Drop a comment and tell me how your week's going. The good, the bad, the challenging. Thanks for joining us today. Every Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, I go live. My name's Jen Singer. I am the founder of the Event Industry, an online community for you, my fellow event planners, to support all the million little things that you're organizing for events. And I try to help you simplify it to make it less crazy. Today we are going to be talking about procuring flowers. One of my favorite things, picking out the decorations or the stuff for floral decor can be super fun. And I have some tips of things to consider when you're getting proposals and kind of just managing the whole floral process from start to finish. Before we jump into that, I am just going to touch upon something that happened to me this week when I attended an event, and it was super frustrating as a guest, and I'm sure I've done getting a call in the middle of my Facebook Live. Something that I've probably been guilty of myself, but try not to do for events, and that is communicating where the specific location is of the event. Now, that seems like a pretty basic thing to do, but it can be really confusing if you're hosting an event, say at the National University, and there's like multiple campuses. Like in San Diego, apparently they have like 6. And this event that I went to, in all the communication, just said National University. And I'd never been to the National University, so I didn't realize that there were so many. And when I Googled it to get the directions, it just popped up one closest to me, and I went to that one, and that happened to not be one of the 6 where it was at. So the email invitation, the ticket sales page, and my confirmation just said National University and not the location. So obviously I missed out on part of the event, and there was a networking part and all the things. So something to consider for your next event. I bring it up because it's something that just happened to me. And like I said, I am not perfect, and I've done that probably before and confused guests or made it really hard to find the venue. And you just want to make it as easy as possible. So little side note, before we jump into flower stuff, just make sure your communication is really specific. So if it's National University and it's in a specific area of town, note that so people don't get confused. Okay, on to floral stuff. When you are reaching out for proposals, there are some key bits of information that you want to consider including. And I'm going to give you a tip at the end to consider that will save you some time and also save you some money if you are working on like a tight budget. So something to consider for the arrangement that can definitely save some money. Okay, so when you're sending out communication, bits of information that you want to include, some of the obvious are the date, the location, the event type. So if it's a corporate event, or you're just doing a little social gathering, or maybe it's a wedding, or whatever kind of type of event it is. Also, if there is any like design specifics or themes that you want to include. I'm working on an event right now, and we have sent them like an example of a Spanish tile that has some of the colors that the client would really like. And that is what we are using as inspiration for the floral decor, and that's been like super helpful for the florists we've been in contact with, of going, okay, like I kind of see what motif you're looking at, like I can pull these colors or these different types of flowers that will match that. So, or if you have Pinterest ideas, like anything that's going to help the florist kind of think about like what sort of aesthetics are they looking for in this particular event. Now, beyond that, you want to include what types of arrangements do you need? Like, are you needing centerpieces? Do you need bar decor? Do you need like small little arrangements for belly bars? Do you need stuff for like, are you having little lounges? So those specific types of decor that might be like ranging in size and kind of layout are really important to communicate as well as quantity. So then you can kind of put all the information out there of like what you're trying to achieve in this proposal, like what are all the details, so they can like budget accordingly or give you a cost accordingly. The other element that you want to communicate is the setup specifics. Now, do you want them to deliver them? Do you want them to set them? And then also just considering the time in which to set them. So what I mean by that is, do you want to just have them drop it off and then you're going to set them up? Or are you going to have the tables ready and then have them drop that? And something to be mindful of when we've talked about this, when we've talked about logistics in the past, is kind of planning all of those elements like accordingly, making sure that the tables and the linens are all set before you schedule the florist to arrive to set the tables. Now, seems like a pretty logical thing to coordinate, but sometimes when you're managing all these million things, it's really like something that kind of gets tripped up, and all of a sudden you have the florist there to deliver and you don't like have the tables all ready, and you don't want that person to like get frustrated and wait around. So just plan the schedule accordingly so kind of everything happens in a really good flow for all the vendors to kind of do their thing like in sequence. And then the other element is budget. Like if you have a really budget conscious client, or this is a budget conscious event, the florist can pick flowers that like can support that, and also just, you know, as elaborate as you want or as scaled back as you want. So just to recap, some of the things that you need to include would be the date, the location, the time frame, including the setup that we just discussed, any design specifics or thematic specifics that you were looking for, Pinterest ideas, photos, colors, like all that fun stuff, the type of event that you're hosting, as well as the budget. So make sure that you include all that in your email as you're reaching out to florists for your proposals. Now, one tip-saving, like money-saving idea that can definitely come into play is the vases. Now, I have clients that do all different kinds of things. Like the vases we're just renting them. So there's the option of like renting the vases, or the vases are included in the total cost of the centerpieces. So just make sure that communication happens between you and the florist, like whether or not you're renting the vases or the vases are going to like live with the client. A lot of galas that I do, the guests or attendees like take the centerpieces, even without asking. They just get up and walk away and like walk out with a centerpiece. There must have been some event where that was okay, and people just do it all the time now. So for a lot of galas, we just kind of budget that maybe those centerpieces will go away. So you want to kind of talk about that up front. But a way to save money is if you're just renting the centerpieces, and another element is if you want to return the vases to the florist. Now, they're a lot easier to return as a planner when, you know, you've taken out the flowers. You can give those away to everybody, all your volunteers, or, you know, people that are clients or whatever, and then you just return the vases. So you know, rent the vases and then cut out the delivery charge and then just return them yourself. So hopefully that was super helpful in procuring your next floral needs for your event. Just as a reminder, super excited to launch our first course July 16th. More information about that coming. It's going to be the Event Essentials, a step-by-step guide to walking you through planning your events from concept to completion. Really excited to share this course with you guys. And if you have any questions, you can email me at hello@theeventindustry.com. That's hello@theeventindustry.com. If you're looking for more tools or tips, you can visit theeventindustry.com. That's THE, eventindustry.com. Have an awesome Friday, everyone. Thanks for joining us, and I'll see you next Friday.